We're digging deeper into a private investigator's 92-page investigation into the death of Michelle O'Connell.
O'Connell died 4 years ago on September 2nd, 2010, in what was ruled a suicide, but some of her family members have insisted it was a homicide. Channel 4's Scott Johnson has been looking into this, and he's joining us now live. Scott?
Mary, tomorrow here in St. Johns County, the family, along with their attorney, holding a vigil 4 years since Michelle O'Connell died. Well, tomorrow they are also having a news conference with an announcement. They want the governor to open this case again. They say they have new witnesses. And I talked to a guy tonight on the eve of this announcement who's been investigating this case himself. He thinks some things were left out. Wright questions the validity of the criminal investigation into the death of Michelle O'Connell and questions whether it was a suicide or perhaps investigators got it wrong and someone killed the St. Johns County woman.
You know, it's not about my review and analysis into this case. It's about the evidence. And it's about, the evidence getting submitted and getting looked at.
One thing Wright points to is an interview FDLE conducted with O'Connell's boyfriend at the time, St. Johns County Deputy Jeremy Banks. Here's an excerpt from Wright's report that says he implies Banks staged the scene where O'Connell's body was found. Quote, Agent Rogers asked Jay Banks if he agrees that the location of the gun could not have fallen in the position found, and forensic experts have stated the gun was staged or placed. Agent Rogers goes on to say, do you agree? Jay Banks replied, uh-huh. Agent Rogers asked Jay Banks, do you see the logic in that response? Jay Banks' response was yes. And do you agree with that, though? Jay Banks' response again, yes, by shaking his head. Wright says this strongly suggests the way her body was found had been tampered with.
Well, I think it's a mismanagement of the case. I think it's an injustice because when you go into an investigative case, no matter what type of investigation you do, it's a systematic process. And you have to rule out any criminal intent to that case.
One other thing Wright points out that's interesting concerns the black glove we first told you about at 10. It was found on the hood of Banks' car. Well, Wright says Banks' patrol car also happened to have a box of black medical gloves in the back. And he says detectives never tested to see if they were the same type of gloves. Now he's sending this information to anyone who will listen.
I sent it to the state's attorney for the 5th Circuit, the 7th Circuit, the 8th Circuit. I sent it to the governor. I sent it to everybody that Sheriff Shore sent it to that was on his list. I sent it to Channel 4, the FBI.
And so tomorrow the family will be gathering to talk about this. Also, they have a petition going trying to encourage the governor to reopen this case and look at the state's findings. We're live in St. Johns County. Scott Johnson, Channel 4, the local station.
Have you been able to talk to the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office about this?
Well, we tried to, Mary. They say just right now they can't comment on it. Back to you.
We'll, of course, be following this story as well. Scott Johnson reporting to us live. Thank you, Scott.